Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Dave G with the IFYS podcast, where we network, support, promote, shout out, show love, and give people their flowers right here, right now, in real time. All the time, all the time. So today, you know what I'm saying, we always representing for the city for one. And we got a gentleman here, oh man, with a story to tell. You know what I'm saying? When you talk about uh the rise and fall, but you could talk about a fall and rise. I remember I saw that on one of the magazines that you was in before. I ain't gonna talk too long. First of all, he is a successful, award-winning, um, Milwaukee-based author, an entrepreneur, motivational speaker, a life coach, a mentor, policy reform advocate, multiple businesses. You got a barbershop, barber slash beauty shop. I know you do. Okay. You a barber or what exactly?
Yeah, I got my barber license, and man, I opened up a barber shop. Had it for about 5, 6 years. Started trucking.
Yeah, I see you got a trucking company, Go Time Trucking.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Quite a few trucks on there. Five trucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You building, man. Strong. Nonprofit.
I've done some nonprofit work, man. I was gonna get deep off into it, but I started the work boot company, man,
And which leads me to the next one, the shoe brand. You got the apparel.
Yeah.
You got the clothing.
Yeah, man.
Man, you know what? It's dope. And I mean, in your past life, you served 20 years. So that was 20 years straight.
20 years straight.
20 years straight.
June
Facing a life
96,
sentence
October.
originally.
Yeah, facing life. End up sentenced to 40 years and served 20.
Nice to meet you, sir.
All right, man. Thanks
Great to see you out here in these streets, man, and doing big things.
Yes, sir.
Respectfully, man. It was for a first degree reckless homicide.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
the
sir.
reckless homicide is what made it to 40 years.
Yeah, made it 40. Intentional would have gave me life.
Intentional would have gave you life.
Yeah.
Man, it is blessed to see you out here grinding, doing your thing, man. But yeah, so basically, not only is he a businessman, he is a full-blown business.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So no, congratulations to you, man. It is great to see such a flip and turnaround in the forward motion of your life, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You see a lot of people go through a lot of crazy things, and sometimes it'd be hard for people to turn around and come back from that.
Yeah, a lot of times.
So I've been doing a whole lot of talking. Before we jump into all the meat and potatoes and all that we gonna get into, just let's go back to a young Ed Hennings.
Yeah.
Like, where was your dreams? What was your motion? What was you on? Who were you?
Man, a young Ed Hennings, man, a dreamer. Definitely was a young dreamer, man. It wasn't nothing that wasn't on the table for a young kid growing up in the hood, 23rd and Capitol to be exact, here in Milwaukee, going to schools, and just the possibilities was endless, man. I did talent shows in high school and junior high. I'm 54, so I'll be 54 next week. So I come from the breakdancing era. I come from that era. So, breakdancing, all as opposed to sports. I played basketball, football, baseball. I did it all, man. So the possibilities was on the table. My grades wasn't bad. I was pretty much a B, A minus to B plus student, but I also was in the hood. So I could have went that way.
Mm-hmm.
I could have went the wrong way. So the possibilities was there for me. It's just what I wanted to do in my life. And I just pretty much stayed away from the wrong thing for a period of time till I graduated from high school, man, and I became an adult. I turned 18.
Right.
And all the kiddie stuff was out the window in my mind.
Right. You wasn't playing with toys no more.
Yeah, like, man,
you was able to get off the porch when it was time for you to get off the porch.
Exactly. So growing up around it, I always had access. I always had the opportunities because I wasn't shielded from it. It was right in my household, so I wasn't the one that had to go out into the streets to get it.
Right.
All I had to do was wake up in the morning,
yeah,
and it was right there in every form and fashion you could think of. I just did not choose to do it because I was dreaming.
Right.
And then once I got older and the dream started to get chipped away, and I'm sitting there, you know what, man, I'm gonna get me some money. And
Right.
that was the beginning, man. I even made it to a tech school out in Phoenix, taking
Oh, okay.
heat and ventilation and air conditioning. 18 years old, first time away from home. You know, growing up in the hood, let me give you this dynamic to give you a good understanding of me. Growing up in the hood and you trying to stay out of trouble. You trying to stay away from the wrong thing. And it looked like the guys is doing the wrong. They got the cars driving to school. They got the jewelry on. They got the fresh clothes.
Yeah.
You don't have that.
Right.
Because you doing it the right way. You know, you got your little part-time job. You ain't got nothing. Right. So I went to school, and I'm out here in school, and the students driving to school every day. They getting Thanksgiving dinner catered to them on the holidays. And here I am on a mountain bike.
Right.
So here I am on a mountain bike. So I'm like, this is the same thing playing out all over again. I'm doing the right thing and I ain't getting nowhere. Show me where this is paying off at.
Right.
So that's when I began to say, you know what? This ain't gonna work. This doing what you supposed to do, doing the right thing. I didn't know it was a marathon. Right. I thought it was a sprint to a better life. You know, I didn't know I had to put in the work a lot longer than I had in my mind.
Experience, man.
Yeah.
Best teacher. I always say it's the one you can't hire or fire.
For sure.
But you definitely got to experience it.
Yeah, man. So I started making the bad decisions, the bad choices, man. Came back to Milwaukee with number one thing on my mind. And the rookie mistake is I'm going to get in and get out. I'm going to get in, make me a little money. Then I'm going to go back to school. Every rookie in the book said that. That's a rookie mistake. You know, then now in my age and in my experience, if a young dude tell me I'm just going to get in and get out, I'm going to say, you fooling yourself. You fooling yourself. You going to get in and get out. A lot of old players and old hustlers thought the same thing you thinking. I'm going to get in and get out. And then here you go 25 years later and you stuck. You stuck. So that's a rookie mistake.
Man, so I mean, you know, I don't want to take you too far back into the actual situation.
But we can go.
But so when did everything change for you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's lead us up to the moment where you end up facing this time.
Okay, let me start from the moment when I walked out of school and started hustling. Let's go back because when I left to go to school, I didn't have a going away party. I didn't have a committee of people that had the pom-poms and cheerleading because Ed leaving the hood to go to school. It was birds chirping, man. It was quiet.
Right.
But when I picked that bag up and I got in the streets, everybody patted me on the back. Everybody said, oh, you about to come up. Everybody was screaming my name. So that was intoxicating in itself. So with you, and I know everybody going to be able to relate to this. When you start to hustle and to make a little money in the hood, you become the go-to guy. You become the guy that everybody call for help.
Because they know you're going to be there.
They know you're going to be there. Yeah. Whether it's money they need, a car they need, some drink they need, some barbecue, some meat to put on the grill, whatever they need, they know they can call on you. And once again, that's intoxicating. You become the man, everybody, let me call Ed, he got this, he got that. So with that being said, I became that go-to guy, which I didn't think about when I got into it, but you quickly morph into that. And when somebody had beef, they call you. And one time somebody called me for their beef, I intervened, and I ended up shooting somebody. End up facing the rest of my life in prison. Just because of being that go-to guy, not knowing how to say no.
Not knowing how to say no. So you said you showed up to somebody else's beef and you ended up pulling the trigger.
Yes.
Was it legit beef, or did you jump the gun how?
To be honest with you, what I perceived at that moment, yes, I perceived it in that moment to be a dire situation, to where it's escalating to the point of altercation. But after I got locked up and I had a chance to sit in that cell for those years, I was able to dissect that as well as my own life. And I said, man, it wasn't even that serious. But once again, whatever beast you feed gonna get stronger.
Right.
And once you tell yourself over and over again, this is danger, this is danger, this is danger. I liken it to a young lady that might see her sister get beat up, or her mom or her auntie get beat up growing up. And then one day she say, I ain't gonna never let no man put his hands on me. And then she gets into an argument with her boyfriend. But it's just an argument. And then she start attacking him. Because in her mind, she's already told herself from the age of 5, the age of 6 and 7 and 8, ain't nobody gonna ever put their hands on me. So I took it back. Those 20 years, I had a chance to sit and think back to all the fellas that got killed in the neighborhood. And I said, man, I ain't gonna never let that happen to me. And I think about all the times I went to parties, all the times I got into arguments with guys, and I overdid it because in my head, I ain't gonna let nobody do nothing to me.
Right.
And I carried that with me from the age of like 11, 12 years old, that I ain't gonna never let nobody do nothing to me.
Right.
And eventually that caught up with me.
Right.
So be careful about the promises that you make to yourself at a young age about, I ain't gonna never be broke. I ain't gonna never let nobody do nothing to me. Because now you might,
Right.
that might play out in your life.
No, I had a homeboy who was that way.
Yeah.
And yeah, he ended up missing when he went first.
Yeah.
And he ended up getting hit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he was that guy, like respectfully, good dude, everything. But yeah, he had that same mindset.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I definitely understand that.
Yeah, it's deeper 100%. Than what, you know, the news might portray or what people might say, because you might be arguing with an individual, but you don't know what's going on in their life. You don't know what they've been through.
You don't know where they just came from 20 minutes ago.
Man, without a doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
So with me being the one, I had the high top fade. I had the polka dots.
Yeah.
You know, I had the hammer pants. But underneath the polka dots, underneath the hammer pants, underneath the big high top fade with the dye streak in the front, the Kwame look, underneath all that was a young person that was saying to himself, ain't nobody gonna do nothing to me. Damn.
All right. Damn. You know what, man? So when you catch this time and you sitting in there and you thinking about that same concept that we're talking about right now, like, just walk me through a moment, just one moment when you was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
When you when it hit you, like, damn, I'm finna be here for that.
Yeah. Immediately. Immediately. I'm downtown Milwaukee in the county jail. I still don't know what's going on, but it's about 12:31 in the morning.
What you mean you didn't know what's going on? What you mean by that?
Cause when I shot, didn't nobody fall to the ground. It's not like the movies. You know, everybody thinks you shoot somebody and everybody falling down on the ground. Right. So, you know, everybody running. So this happened on the other side of the block.
Oh, okay.
So when you get downtown, you picked up. You don't know what's going on. You know, so the papers is slid under my door. And it said 1st degree intentional homicide, mandatory life sentence. And that's when it hits you. And at this moment, it's over. You know, I'm like, my life is over, man. I threw my life away. You know what I mean? So at that moment, you saying to yourself, I could have been something, man. I could have really done something with my life, man, if I would have just applied myself. At that moment, and now it's over for you. It's over. Your mama comes see you, you telling you, what happened? It's over, ma. You know, you should talk. We don't need to talk. It's over. It's over for me. I'm going to spend the rest of my life in prison. And your mama like, boy, shut up. Don't say that.
Right.
And you like, ma, it's over. It's over for me. But you know how mamas can be.
Right.
Mama's like, boy, be quiet. You got
something else going on.
Just get on your knees, pray, and lace them up.
Facts.
You know, lace them up.
Facts. So that's gonna lead me to this, because I was reading this article you was in, and you had said something that stood out to me in the article. You said, I spent 20 years in prison and I realized that I was in a dark place because I had to stop drinking. As a young 20-something-year-old man, those dreams I had as a kid were gone. When I identified the fact that I wasn't even living at all, because with no dreams, are any of us truly living? So I started a quest to purposely get my dreams back, to dream so big that it would scare me. So for the last 26 years, I've been dreaming like a 10-year-old child, and it's been my source of life. Dreams with risk. In order to live, I must dream. And while we take the risk anytime over losing I will take the risk anytime over losing my dreams. I have made a full commitment to never shrink in the face of risk of going after my dreams. And at that moment, I made that commitment. I got my life back.
Yes, sir.
I think that right there, I ain't gonna lie. Like when I read it, cause like I've been through like some crazy relationships and crazy shit in life. Where you kind of lose yourself now to the fact of where you are. Nah, I can't say I experienced that, or where you were, I should say. But no, I mean that was, to me, that was dope, because it's like you do kind of find yourself in a place where it's like, man, you know what? I don't even know what the fuck I'm finna do. Like you start to doubt yourself.
Yeah.
You start to lose where you are. You start to forget how dope of a dude you are. You know what I'm saying? And then you like, wait, I gotta get something back in me that's gonna get that drive going.
No doubt.
So no, I love that. I love that right there. I literally had to print that out, because I said, man, that's dope. That's dope. Yeah. So you know what? When you started dreaming again, and you was like, I got my life back, you knew you already had the time, how long you was gonna sit.
Yeah.
Did you start? You started planning right then.
Right then and there, the research. This is all intentional. What I read, what I listen to, who I hang around, what I watch on TV, all gotta feed the dream.
Mm.
It can't be nothing. It can't be nothing. It can't be, oh, if somebody who disrespect me, I'm gonna mess him up. It can't be no more of that. It can't be no more menace to society.
Mm.
It can't be no more old dog. It can't be no more of that. It got to be all. I watched John Q 199 times while I was in there, because of the determination of Denzel Washington to get his son a heart. He would not give up. Yeah. So those type of things. I listened to I Believe I Can Fly over every time it came on the radio. I turned it up. That's what I fed myself for 20 years straight was Ed. You can do it. Ed, you can do it. The movies I watched, the magazines I read. In my cell, I had articles of people that was facing insurmountable odds, and they overcame them. I put those articles on my wall. So it was sort of a hypnotism. Just the way I fed myself all of the gangster music, the gangster movies, the gangster people. I surrounded myself around that 24/7 in my past. So why was it a surprise that I was in the situation that I was in?
Damn.
So how you figure you gonna eat, sleep, and drink this and gonna get a different outcome? So I identified that early on, and I started to feed myself positive things. Ed, you got a high mountain to climb, but you can do it. You can do it. So to this day, since 1996, man, I still to this day, I don't watch the news. I don't listen to too much of the gangster music. I still get my E40 in and my short dog in sometimes. But I don't live in that space.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? I got to get my dose of Ed. You got it, baby. You got it. I got to hear that. I got to hear that. Because once again, it's a beast over here and it's a beast over there. Which one are you feeding? Which beast are you building up? And which beast are you killing out? That's just how it goes.
Facts. You know what? I like that type of energy, man. Like even right now, I just feel like, man, you know what? I'm thinking about my next move. Like, man, I need to go a little harder. I love that type of talk, that type of vibe, that type of energy, man. That drive is amazing, man. And it's good to see you have that after, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people get counted out when they go to jail, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And what I will say is, fortunately, I know at least three people, who did 10 or more years in prison and are doing fantastic right now, to the point where you wouldn't even know they was there.
That's right. That's
You
right.
know what I'm saying? And that's what I see in you.
Yeah.
And when I met you before, because mind you, this ain't the first time you blessed the IFYS. Like as soon as I was getting going, I didn't know which way to go. I just said, fuck it, I got a camera and a mic.
Right.
We finna get out here. Bro saw me. We was at Garfield days.
Yeah.
You saw me and I was standing out there. I was waiting on Rodney Poe to get off stage so I could say something to him.
Yeah.
And I saw you looking. You was like, hey man, can I say, oh, yeah, shout out.
No doubt.
And you shouted out your brand. You shouted out the fact that you had you was a motivational speaker. We got to talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
And off camera, we had a little small conversation. And ever since then, man, I followed you on Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. And man, the growth has just been great. And now, like, to see you here, because I was on the street, no real foundation, just a mic and a camera.
You've come a long way, brother. This is a awesome setup. This is excellent.
Man, I appreciate it.
It's an honor to come in and just experience it for sure.
Man, respect, man. I'm happy to hear you say that, man, because when you're working on something, you always see so much you can do differently, and then it's like people come in and show you the love, and it's like, I guess you're right.
Right. That's what's up. Sometimes it takes that. Those affirmations is real.
Right. Facts. So you know what I'm saying? Because I know it's so much information out there that people can search and really find out your real story, man. I don't want to dig too much deep into that portion where we was at because you got so much doper shit to talk about.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? So we're going to jump into this. And 2016, you was released from prison.
Yes, sir.
You had a vision. You had a plan.
Yeah.
You had some experience you had put in for a while. You knew that you had to buzz different moves and you had to come out to a different vibe.
Yeah.
So what are some challenges that you received from from when you started getting things off the ground, coming from prison, but jumping into the basically corporate world?
I think that for me, and I try to tell people this so much about reintegrating back into the community from your situation. If you got a loved one, if you can get word to them, or if they get to see this podcast, make sure they see it, because if you got 5 years in prison, don't wait till 4 years, 6 months, and 6 months left. You say, all right, I'm getting ready to go home. I'm going to start preparing. I'm going to start reading. I'm going to start doing this. That's too late.
Right.
The sooner you get to working on self, the easier your transition going to be. It's never going to be easy. Achieving goals is nothing easy, but we can do hard things. But we have to build it up. It's no shortage of information. Information is everywhere. But it's short on executing the information. If I write down your workout for the next year, you got the workout. But can you get up every morning and do the workout? It's not the lack of information. So the fact that those of us that's incarcerated got time to do. We need to be working on ourselves, not just the plan, but working on ourselves so we can be the one that can execute the plan. Because right now you got the information. The internet got all the information, but you can't wake up every morning consistently and execute that information. So what I did while I was in there is I was preparing myself in every way that I could to be the person that could take the information and execute it. So if I told myself I was going to go to the library and get this book and I was going to read it and I didn't go, ain't no wreck tomorrow. Because I didn't do what I said I was going to do.
So you punished yourself.
I would punish myself.
Well, and during that time of punishment, would you then read the book?
And then that's when I'm going to get this book. So I'm going to skip wreck. I'm going to skip that meal I said I was going to make for myself. I had to punish myself in some way, not give myself a pass.
Damn, that's dope.
So you're giving yourself passes and you're not holding yourself accountable. So how can you execute anything in your life to get to your goals when you can't even hold yourself accountable for the things you said you was going to do? But I bet you can hold me accountable if I don't show up for you. But you can't hold you accountable for not showing up for you. And those are the type of things you got to start doing right away. You can't just flip a switch. This got to become common practice in your life because those are habits. And if you form a habit of just laying on your bunk every day and you think you're going to change that when you walk out of prison, another rookie mistake. You gotta start changing those habits as soon as possible. So when you walk out of there, it's second nature.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So you gotta make sure if your loved one is in there, and even people, let me get this out before I even forget it. Let me tell you about incarceration. Let me tell you about prison. Prison is a physical thing, but also prison is a mental thing. So I tell people this. I was incarcerated years before I went in physically.
Damn.
Let me say that to you again.
Damn.
I was already in prison before I got there physically. My
God
body
damn.
just caught up with my mind. Let me tell you what my mind, how I was incarcerated. My dreams was gone, number one. I wasn't dreaming no more like that 8, 9, 10-year-old kid. Them dreams was gone.
Right.
Number two, I didn't believe I can do nothing else. My belief is my self-esteem in what I can achieve in life, that was gone. You know what my self-esteem was attached to? How many females I can get this weekend when I go to the club? That's what my self-esteem hinged on. You know how many numbers I got? Boy, I'm killing it. That was my self-esteem. So therefore, I was already incarcerated.
Mm.
Then when my body got there, I was like, I've been here. I've been here. And then once I freed myself from that mental incarceration, I was free way before I got out. That's when my body got out. But I was free because I had got my dreams back. I had got my self-esteem and belief that I could do anything back. So once you lose that, you incarcerated already. Not the same form of incarceration, but you in a bigger form of incarceration. Because let me tell you what, ain't no doors, ain't no locked doors, ain't no guards, ain't no barbed wire fences, ain't no big walls you got to climb over to get out. See that mental incarceration? You can get out of that right now. Why you won't get out? Ain't nobody with no shotgun making sure you stay mentally incarcerated. You just can't get out. See, in a physical prison, the door's locked. We can't get out. But in that mental prison, you can get out and won't even get out. You can get out of the physical prison and still be in the mental prison. You could be a person that ain't never been to a physical prison and in a mental prison. Talking about you ain't never been locked up. You've been locked up. You just don't know it. Think about that.
Welcome to the vibe, where knowledge meets rhythm. We talk life, love, and everything in between. This is information for your soul.
Information for your soul. Feed your mind, let the truth unfold. Every story got a spark of gold. Tune in, let's take control. It's information for your soul. It's information for your soul. We dive deep where the real ones speak. Music, laughter, pain, and peace each week. From the booth to the stage to the therapist chair. Everybody got a voice and we taking it there. Comedians bring the jokes, authors paint the page. Artists drop gems, therapists bring the sage. It's more than entertainment, it's food for the brain. Ain't no limit to the wisdom you could gain. Information for your soul. Feed your heart, let the rhythm roll. Let's connect, let the stories be told. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Information for your soul. Yeah, yeah. Information for your soul. We got laughter, we got tears. We got dreams we've chased for years. So pull up, relax and let it flow. This the place where truth gon' grow. Information for your soul. Light it up, let the spirit glow. Every guest got a piece to show, yeah. Information for your soul.